Hi everybody, this is a 2002 Mercedes SLK 320. It's the R170 SLK class. I put this video together to show everybody how to fix the coin box or ashtray or cubby um, if it's in the open position, stuck in the open position or won't close. It's a pretty generic um, device, so hopefully you can take a look at this and it'll apply to your situation and it'll help you out. There are a lot of videos out there on how to pull apart the dash. It was pretty simplistic. It's literally six Phillips head screws. Um, this video is not going to show that, but what you're looking at now is the actual coin box, and once you have it removed, this is what you end up with. You can pop the little plastic cover off and that will reveal the spring and a yellow gear. What you got to do is pop that gear out from underneath, and the spring, just grab it and hook it onto the box itself. This is how you begin to remove the actual coin ashtray box from the holding unit. With the unit flipped over, there are three things to take a look at here. In the center, obviously, is the coil spring. To the left of that, directly to the left of it, is the top end of the lever. If you follow that straight down, you'll find the round clip that basically holds the lever in place. Squeeze that with a pair of needle nose pliers. It'll pop right through the plastic, freeing the lever. Above the spring, you'll notice a little clear light tube, and there's the back side of that yellow gear. You just pry the yellow gear up with a screwdriver, and it'll pop right out. I was lucky enough to have the offending piece pop out of the unit, so you'll see in the next clip there's a V that holds that lever in place so that the coin box will stay closed. This is a picture of um, that piece. Whether or not you have that piece, I found out really doesn't matter because I use JB Weld to do the repair. So we'll get to that right now. Here's a shot of the opening and closing mechanism. I have a video of this working at the end of the clip, but it's good to understand how this thing works because I actually had to use some JB Weld and mold it into position. What you're looking at, I'll describe the motion here, is the lever on the right hand side. The coin box is open at this point. When you push the coin box closed, that bottom piece will shift to the right. The lever will shift to the left. As the lever moves to the left, it gets pushed to the upper position, goes around the curve, comes back down and centers itself, so that when you pull your finger off of the coin box, that lever will fall into the V, creating a closed coin box. With the coin box closed, once you push it in, the lever will move forward and hit that little triangle on the left hand side, and it will force it down. Then the lever will travel downward as the coin box is coming out, and it will eventually reorient itself to the center point as the coin box becomes fully extended. At this point, the process just repeats. You push in the coin box, the lever moves in, goes up, recenters itself, falls into the V, and locks, creating the closed position. Ingenious little device. You really got to understand how that movement works to fix any kind of problem you have with a box that won't close. I took that little piece of ABS plastic there that you see. It's the upper piece of the V in the center of the picture. and I used epoxy to try and glue it into place. So with everything set up, had the piece in my tweezers, put the epoxy on it, and about half an inch from me putting it on to the base, the tweezers squeezed together and shot the piece across my workroom. Uh, couldn't find it. Manufactured another one. Did it 3 times until I finally figured out that by using JB Weld plastic, you're better off, because once you cement or epoxy that piece in place, if the movement isn't perfect, that lever will not do what you want it to do. The lever goes through a series of movements, and it's the kind of thing where you need to have a material that you can sand and shave down, because the tolerances are pretty tight. So really, any portion of that V that breaks, and typically people pull out the coin box, and it will break that piece that broke off in my case. So this is hopefully a typical fix. So I basically took the JB Weld, made a very small piece, put it in there, let it harden, and then by hand on the workbench just made that lever work through the motion. Once I had enough clearance, then I reassembled the unit and went through a test phase. I had to take it apart twice, and eventually I got it. Here are two close-up shots of the assembled unit with the JB Weld, that's the white piece, in place. So this will show you it's right now in the locked position, so that lever is sitting in the middle of the V, made but with the JB Weld. Here's another shot of it a little more head on, so that you could see the groove that was cut out there. The next clip is the video clip of the unit opening and closing, and I do it several times so that you can see how that lever moves in its path. And I actually slowed it, or did it as slow as I could, so that you can you can actually see this thing work. Um, Beautiful unit, and it takes a little bit of time, but once you get for what worked for me was the JB Weld. Without that, I wouldn't have been able to do this job. Using epoxy and pieces of plastic just didn't seem to work out. You had to be too exact. I did use some liquid silicone, and greased up the tracks, so I had a relatively smooth um, working mechanism. So hopefully that's helped you out. Good luck with your repair.